All right, so we're going to share today some technical tips and tricks to working with the SeaMix Brine Maker. First of all, most of these adjustments are made at the factory, but you can make some adjustments on your own if you feel that you're wandering away from your desired set. First, you want to start with some brine that you know what the salinity is. In this case, the hydrometer is showing that we have 23%. We want to be as close to our full scale as possible.
Go ahead.
Next, you want to remove the sensor from the SeaMix by removing the clamp that holds the sensor into the fitting leading into the pump. Then we're going to put the liquid that we tested in a container and set it into this liquid. So now it's time, we're going to open the box and we're going to go to the actual sensor computer. And what we're going to do is we're going to press Cal and Mode together. Then we're going to press Enter. And this icon up in the left is the sensor. So the cursor's on that. We hit Enter again. So this is the actual signal coming from the sensor, but down here is a calibration constant. Right now it's at 3.325. If our actual salinity is 19%, but the monitor was reading 20%, we'd want to reduce that number by pressing this button by 20-30 points or so. And if we want to confirm that, we press Enter. I don't recommend making big jumps. If you make too big a jump, you may overshoot your target. So I'd say creep up on it a little bit or make minor adjustments until you feel that you're right where you want to be. So to confirm, press Enter, and then to go back to the main screen, we hit Cal. So once you've made your adjustments, you put the sensor back into the T in front of the pump. Make sure the flange is in place, and also make sure that the direction of the holes are lined up right for the sensor. And put the clamp back on, and you're ready to go. Now we're going to talk about changing the actual set point. The ideal set point is 23.3%. But if you ever wanted to change that, increase it, I just want you to know how to do that. And this time we're going to press Setup and Mode together. You'll come up with a menu like this. We're going to just press Enter. That gets us into this icon mode. And we're going to scroll the icon over to relay number 2. It's the second icon from the end on the top. Once we have the cursor there, we're going to press OK. And we're going to scroll down to the third line. Don't change anything else in these menus, but the third line shows the set point. I'm going to hit Enter. Now you can see we're at 23.25. Just so you know, if you want it exactly at 23.3, I've got it set at 0.5% lower because it will overrun just a little bit. And we found that the longer that these materials stay in the bin, they'll also continue to increase in salinity. So I try to keep it right at 23.3, and setting it here will do that. If you want to change it, just use the arrow buttons to go up or down and land on the number that you want. Once you've got it chosen, press Enter. And to exit out of this screen, to get back to the main screen, press Setup, Setup again. The last thing I want you to know about is this has a safety feature to turn off the pump if it's low on pressure. If the pump loses pressure, that can cause that. But the most common is when the filter gets full and the pump isn't able to recirculate enough fluid to keep that pressure switch closed. So make sure you check your filters. This filter is for the load out. This filter down here is for the recirculation of the system. So if you have really dirty salt, if you have a lot of leaves and sticks and stuff like that in it that are floating, they're going to fill that filter up pretty quickly. I'd say with dirty salt, you're probably going to end up having to clean that filter out on every load.